Hi, we're back to talk about math, but now since you took the math test yesterday on lesson 20, today we're going to talk about a brand new chapter, but it's really similar and it's still multiplication. So this is chapter 21 and we're going to talk about the introduction and lesson 1, and your pages are 409 through 412. It is April 22nd in the year 2020. Okay, in this section of our lesson, we're going to multiply by 2, 5, or 10. So, our new vocabulary, you're going to find our new vocabulary is very similar to our old vocabulary. It says, here are some vocabulary words you will learn, or relearn, in this chapter. First of all, multiply. When you join equal groups to find how many in all, then you multiply. And right here we have flower pots. There are 3 equal groups of 2 flowers. So altogether we get 6 flowers in all. 3 times 2 equals 6. And remember, the equal groups is oftentimes the first number, but when we look at this down here and when we look at our first lesson, we're going to find out you're going to get the same product either way.
I think we talked about that before,
Yeah.
Miss East.
Yes, and that's going to be even more important next year. Okay, multiplication sentence. This is a multiplication sentence. It has 2 numbers we're multiplying, has an equal sign, it has a product. So you need all of those to have a multiplication sentence. But right now, our multiplication symbol is an X. It's going to change in the years ahead, but for right now it's an X, and that works fine. And last but definitely not least is the word product. The answer in a multiplication problem is called the product. And remember, I said these are called factors, and the factors at the factory produce a product, right? So just a way to fit it into your brain. Okay, and that's page 409. Can I have that? It's just telling us that chapter 21 and the first 2 pages are introduction pages. Go ahead. And we have 409 and 410. Wait. These are new multiplication videos. This one is Count by 4, and it's Mr. DeMayo. I know you guys like him. Count by 4. You've seen Count by 6 maybe before, but this is a kind of a newer one. If you want to look at it, great. Next one. Okay, so let's look at what you've already learned. Check what you know. How many flowers are in each vase? Looks like
3.
And those do sort of look like carnations.
So, Miss East, I think we're going to count by 3s.
I think we're going to skip count by 3 to find our answer. But how many vases would be the equal groups? Because each group has the same number. So how many vases or how many equal groups are there? 5, right. And then it says, use the picture up there to complete the table. So remember, in 1 vase, there's 3. In 2 vases, there's 6, good. In 3 vases, there's 9. In 4 vases, there's 12. And in 5 vases, there's 15.
Looks
right.
like the magic number again.
It is. That count by 5, or excuse me, count by 3s 5 times. Write an addition sentence to show how many flowers in all. So remember, we're not going to go 5, 5, 5. Don't do that. I've seen that before. We're going to count by 3s.
Plus
3 plus 3 plus
3
plus 3. And we know the answer. It's 15. That's right.
So we counted the 3 5 times.
Exactly. So now write a multiplication sentence to show how many flowers in all. So we are actually going to write the
5.
number of equal groups first. That's right, 5. And the number in each group second. So our product is still 15. And then last but not least, you guys probably saw this on the test you just took. And that is we're going to do fill in the missing numbers. This is count by 10. Skip counting by 10. 10, 20,
30,
30,
40,
40, 50,
60,
60,
70,
70, 80, 90,
100.
100. That's right. So that's not too bad. So you guys, if you wanted to stop the video at any point and try to do it on your own and then go back and check, you know you can always do that. Okay, I'm going to erase, and Mrs. Batchelor is going to go to the next slide. Okay, there's a couple of things you want to remember about this. It says when we multiply, we can multiply in any order. As we talked about earlier, order doesn't matter. Is everything okay?
Order's not in it.
We're all good. This is in it, right? Okay. You can multiply in any order and get the same product. So that's very nice. It's almost like addition in that way. Because we know 3 plus 2 is 5 and 2 plus 3 is 5. So let's look at this one. It says make an array with 4 rows of 2. Now they use little squares, and that's fine. They've got 4 rows. Remember, a row goes this way from left to right. And so 4 rows, in each row there's 2. And this is 2 rows of 4. 1, 2. I know I've been looking at some math papers that people turned in, and we did get mixed up about those rows. Rows should go across. It's not a big deal, not a huge deal. Okay, here it says write the multiplication sentence. And they've really done it for you. 4 times 2 is 8. 2 times 4 is also 8. So the product remains the same.
No matter which way you do it.
Exactly. Now, I remember last year when I had my students doing this one, there's a couple of little tiny rules that I'm going to add in there. You would think it's not super important, but it is. I like this guy right here with the smiley face. I don't want you to just color all across, okay, because that's not the goal. The goal is to keep counting. We are counting. So when it says 5 rows of 3, what I told my students last year is just make a dot. Okay, so I'm going to dot, dot. So I have 3 there. That's my first row. Dot, dot, dot. Second row. Dot, dot, dot. Third row. Dot, dot, dot. Fourth row. And here's my 5th row. Dot, dot, dot. 5th row. So I have 5 times 3. And wasn't that the same one on the other page? I think it was. So I remember that the answer is 15. So I'm learning my times tables.
Well, and I think a really good way to practice, I saw John Larson, and he was practicing using, he was making chocolate chip cookies. So he was doing.
That's going to be on here.
Yeah, so he was doing that. Oh, then I better hold the, hold the part there. Okay.
So, and then here, what this fine young fellow has figured out is that if you hold your array either way, you're going to end up with the same product. So I'm going to go a little faster. Here I've got 3 rows of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's why it's an important thing to keep counting. Don't try to make them squares. They don't have to be perfect. They don't match each other. But don't just scribble across the page. You don't want to do that. So 3 rows of 5 is still going to be 3 times 5, and it's still going to be 15. Now this bottom part down here, it's just kind of like a review of what we've been talking about a lot. Is 5 times 4 the same as 4 times 5? How do you know? Multiply to check. Well, so I'm going to go 4 times 5 equals 20. And 5 times 4 also equal 20.
You got the same product.
Same answer.
Same answer.
Same product.
So the thing about how do you know, multiplying, I'm going to kind of shorten it a little bit. In multiplying, order, I'm being a little scribbly, sorry. Does not matter. Okay, we know in subtracting, order matters.
Totally matters.
Big time. Like, you just can't live with that.
Bigger
Okay.
number on top.
Bigger number on top, exactly. Okay, so lesson 21, pages 411, 412. And we're going to go next, and I'm going to erase. And here we go. So I'm not going to do this whole page with you because a lot of it is just practicing your times tables. But what I am going to remind you of, I'm going to look at number 4. And number 4 is up here in this section. So I have 5 rows of 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 5 rows is my 5 equal groups. There's 6 in each group. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 5 times 6. I like skip counting by 5s.
Makes it easy.
It does. It's like we're counting by nickels, right? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So my answer is going to be 30. And I know it's going to be the same answer, but I'm going to make sure I do this correctly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see, I need 6 rows.
2 more.
2 more, right? Thanks. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so my product is still going to be 30. Okay? So, it says use Learning Tool 23, but if you do it this way, I think the Learning Tool 23 is this grid paper here. I could be wrong. But in any event, you're going to do this the same way, and you're going to find the product. If you like, you could stop the video now, and then come back. You're back. And we're going to show you what the answers are. So this is 2020. Hey, kind of like the year, 2020. This is 24. You should have 35, and 18, 15, 40, 10, 18, 15. Hey, do you notice a pattern here? 40, 10. So those are just written different ways, right?
Just
Order.
backwards.
Yeah, order doesn't
Numbers are
matter.
Backwards.
6 times 2 is 12. 2 times 6 is 12. 2 times 7 is 14. 7 times 2 is also 14. 8 times 2 is 16. 2 times 8 is also 16. 7 times 3 is 21. 3 times 7 is also 21. So those are the answers that you should have. There is a couple of little notes up here, reminder notes. Okay, so remember, put a circle, slash, or a dot. I've been using dots today. Don't just color across the squares. That's not helpful. You need to be counting each time. This is not an art lesson. This is not graph paper where you're going to do each line a different color. Okay, next one. And it says, these things, if you remember these things, will help you when you see this on the test. Okay, erase. And then go ahead, next slide. The last part of the lesson for today is one final array. Yay! A final array. Here, look at, there's our fine young friend, Jonathan.
Hey, and I think, John, if you want to bring us chocolate chip cookies, we won't object to that.
We're pleading. We're having a craving for chocolate chip cookies. So,
Please respond to
yes,
us.
respond.
Using a reply.
Yes. Okay, so I'm not sure if he's doing rows this way. He could, in which case it would be 3 rows of 4, or it could be rows this way, where it's 4 rows of 3. So, however you want to do it, there's 2 more little buttons to push. John, it's John's array, and we say,
Wow, high
let's
five.
give him a
Okay,
hand,
sounds good.
a nice hand for John. Good. And then the next slide. That's it for math today, friends. And there's 1 more button to push.
Oh, I like
Yay,
that.
you can jump for joy. I really like that guy. We're done. Bye.